This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show.
I am the record man.
I am Robin.
Cuckoo-ca-choo.
This is somehow new.
Did it actually work for you? Did you manage to get it?
It was pretty close. I am Robin. Cuckoo-ca-choo. Already the subtitle.
I'm going to stop the countdown now and just in the middle of conversation just hit you with a clap.
There was a sign. This is very slightly related just because of the phonetics of what we just said, but I saw there was a sign in the basement of the place that we practice for the community band that just said like an arrow, and it just said Kit Ketchum. And I almost sent a Snapchat to you that said, actually, his name is Ash. Thank you very much. I don't know how you got that so wrong, but I don't know who this Kit is. From Knight Rider.
If Knight Rider met Pokemon, like this would be...
Isn't Knight Rider, isn't Kit's voice Mr. Feeney from Boy Meets World? Yeah, so... Yeah. Gotta catch them all, or so. Like he's just trying to.
Well, I was thinking more on like the graphics side of it, where it wouldn't be like Ash, like it's
Kit,
this thing,
talking car,
catch him. But instead it would just be like Kit running over like Bulbasaur at like 90 miles an hour.
Just, go, Kit, and then he just. Oh, I win again! What a surprise! I guess it wouldn't work on like Charizard or some shit, but if it was all the little ones,
I mean, it probably. I mean, there's a point.
And it's just Mr. Feeney going brah. It's not the actual car sound.
Goldeen gets half a Goldeen out before becoming road paste.
Magikarp flopping. It still somehow defeats Kit with Magikarp.
What is it? The Geodude or whatever? Like, he might be like the only one who's really got a chance.
He's just floating there in space, and the car drives under the floating space. My one weakness, floating. Or there's like Pokemon Stadium would always say, the N64 game would do, the announcer, maybe this is a common experience for the listener, I don't know, but the announcer, whenever you would use the attack Dig, and your Pokemon would just spin. The model, there's no animation for Dig. The model would just spin and go down, and then the announcer would say, "Oh, it burrowed underground." And I would go, "What the hell is burrowed?" It might as well have taught me that that's how you say burrowed, but it never didn't. I was already smart enough at age 7 or whatever to go like, "No, I don't think so. I don't think it burrowed anywhere."
Instead, it just told you how to say produce.
It sure did. Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast.
It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been so long since we've done this. Not really.
It's been 1 week.
Yeah, that's what it always is. Episode 122. There's a lot of episodes. It's striking me every time of how long we've been doing this and how we're not even really that far into this. Sorry, Brian. I'm James from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel. I'm here to show my good
And I'm
buddy,
Brian from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel.
You are kind of basically at this point. Why not?
Not really.
You're like 50-50. You're like
I'm a cameo.
Yeah, I'm
in the,
Brian from the Zeta costume and Zeta.
You've seen me in such videos as I don't remember, but Running Away Dude from the explosion thing.
Yeah, it's the Batman and Harley Quinn Willet Cannon.
Yeah.
I think I sent you a picture. I had to put on the Zeta costume for the next video we're doing. not in full. I wasn't wearing the legs, and I also was not wearing the morph suit because I knew it was one shot where I'll just deal with it and just rotoscope it, whatever.
You jerk.
I know, and I sent you a picture, and you just said no because I think you assumed that meant that like, oh, we're bringing it back, and you're gonna have to put the costume on. But no. I promised you for the final promise that was you don't have to wear it ever again.
I don't believe it still. I know how you work. We've been through this a time or two, buddy.
That's why I said the final promise, because I had promised it before. This is double promise, triple promise.
It's the final promise.
Zeta Project. When we get to Zeta Project, you'll be so disappointed. At the time of this recording, no,
19 a.m.
9. Oh wow, it's the morning. How awake are you?
I've been up for a couple hours.
Yeah. I've been up since 6 something. Is that before you?
Probably.
I win. It's just show him the DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time. I skipped this part in the controversial Airdate order, so he may view the way it shows human beings. New Batman Adventures is straight. How many millions of times? 122 times that I've said basically the same thing, and I still can't say it. New Batman Adventures is streaming on Max.
My dog.
And available on DVD and Blu-ray.
My other dog.
There's not a smoother way to specify this, but on Max it is Batman the Animated Series Season 3, if you're looking for it. If you type in the New Batman Adventures, it'll be like, I don't know what that is, because I'm stupid.
Bastards.
And if you'd like to follow along, you can head over to bit.ly/watchdcau.
My other dog.
Yeah. You keep naming your dogs longer and more strange names every time. You should get a third big dog and name it bit.ly/watchdcau.
Can we just start calling Kiba that? Kimmy, I'm sorry. He is my dog's son.
Bitly.
Oh, Bitly would be a cute name for a Chewini.
Yeah, actually.
Bitly. Aw.
Let's do it. Let's get a dog together. Let's move in together. Today we're watching New Batman Adventures episode, You Scratch My Back.
Jamie, you say that whole move-in thing as if I'm not already living in your closet and watching you sleep.
Oh, I knew that, though.
Just Jessica? I didn't send a happy birthday message to your wife, and I feel genuinely bad about that.
Wow. She'll hear that you feel bad about it like a year from now when she listens to this episode in the car. So I'll just not tell her until then. But yeah, you correctly guessed this episode was a Catwoman episode. You said she was going to team up with Batman. I said, no, she's teaming up with Dick. And you said, I love a good old pussy and Dick. That's what you said. And I'm not letting you forget it.
The listener also has not let me forget.
No, they have not. They have said it many times in the Discord, in the comments, and in all sorts of places.
Really?
Yeah.
That was one of those moments where, like, I feel like I have like 8% Tourette's. Because there's times where
you got
like
the entire sentence almost out, like there was no no blockage before it fell out of your mouth.
That's the thing. Like things will come out of like if you ever hear me laughing at something I said, it's because my body said it, and then afterwards my brain caught what my body said.
Yeah,
and I don't think that's normal. I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, most people I think before they. Well, no, that's probably not true. I say a lot of stuff. I don't know.
I think more or less. I think as I'm speaking,
it's just simultaneous.
Kinda.
I don't know. Brains are weird.
Brian's are weird too.
Yeah, that's you. This first aired Saturday, November 15th, 1997 at 9:30 a.m. on KISW. It just keeps getting longer and weirder. This is 1 week after our last episode, Heavy Metal. Aired number 5 and produced number 5.
Hey!
We're 5 for 5 on New Batman Adventures.
Love that.
Written by Hilary J. Bader.
My other dog.
We're just gonna say like the longest sentence ever. That's also my dog. That's my 7th dog.
That's my parakeet.
Brian's other dog is previously wrote A Little Piece of Home, My Girl, Target, Action Figures, Double Dose, Cold Comfort, Prototype, Heavy Metal, and co-wrote The Hand of Fate with Stan Berkowitz.
I feel so bad for the vets.
He's just a little Shiba Inu, just dotting around. That old previously wrote A Little Piece of Home, My Girl, Target, Action Figures, Double Dose, Cold Comfort, Prototype, Heavy Metal, and co-wrote The Hand of Fate with Stan Berkowitz. I love him so much.
Wow. Wow.
That was like a Tip Tapricot level. I didn't think I could do that necessarily. Directed by Butch Lukic, which was our first Butch Lukic.
That's not a real name.
If your name was Butch Lukic, what would you do?
Rob banks, and then I'd give a portion of the money to like street kids, but then I'd spend the rest of it like
you've had this
like,
thought out for a while.
bars.
I feel like you've known like, well, man, some days I just wake up and think, if my name was Butch Lukic, here's what I would do.
No, this is the whole like thinking on the fly thing. Like that's
all right. Just kind of falls out. Yeah. He was previously a storyboard artist on Mask of the Phantasm and 12 episodes of BTAS.
Oh.
He was also a storyboard artist on Tiny Toons, Freakazoid, Gargoyles, and The Real Ghostbusters, among some other stuff.
My man.
And lately, he's been the producer of the most recent dozen or so DC animated movies. They're not DCAU, but he's been like the guy in charge of those. So that's pretty cool.
Aren't they DCAU if they're DC animated videos?
For the longest time, and like into all of these ones that were running on TV were all connected, and they were all part of the same dealio, run by the same people, drawn in the same way, basically, blah blah blah. And it was fan coined the DC animated universe, and then Bruce Timm and guys were like, I like that, we're calling it that too, the end. And it was that. And then they started making a bunch of other stuff, DC cartoons that were not this universe and are not connected. And everybody got confused. Like, why is that one called the DC Animated Universe? There's like 50 of those now. And everybody went, well, this one has an M in it. This is the DC Animated Movie Universe. And this one's the DC... oh my God, what was the longest one? DC Universe Animated Original Movies. DCAU. Kaylee Cuoco.
Are you Big Bang Theorying here, Jamie?
No, I'm not. Bazinga. But
hit the laugh track.
Oh my goodness, where is it? Anyway, it just there's a bunch now, and they all have different stupid acronyms to separate them from DCAU, but this is the one, this is the...
Okay.
It's not the first, weirdly enough, because Super Friends and all the Super Friends ones in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, those are all different shows that are all basically in the same universe, but nobody called it anything because everybody was old and dumb.
Before we...
That's a terrible thing to say. Anyway, yeah? Everybody who's older than me is stupid.
Aw.
Sorry, Brian.
And everybody younger than you is stupid, so the only other person who's not stupid in the world is Jessica.
Is my wife. Technically, she's 7 hours older than me.
Ooh, yeah. You're dating an older woman?
I know. That's my joke I always do. I say I like older women. It's a funny joke. What were you going to say?
That's so funny. Was there anything DC... did you ever see, like... I'm just going to say OG because I don't know any better. The like original animated Captain America...
Yeah.
Do you know that when Captain America throws his shield?
Yeah.
And it
was
like
Mighty Shield. That's right.
Yeah, it was like animated at like 6 frames per second.
It's basically like a slightly moving comic book. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there anything DC of that era?
I mean, that's around the same time as it's not Super Friends, but before that in the 60s, there was like the Adventures of Batman and Aquaman and Superman Power Hour bullshit like that. That's just like...
Okay.
I probably got the names slightly wrong, but whatever. I was dead at that point. I'm a Benjamin Button.
That's so weird.
I was dead back then. But yeah, no, there was stuff like that, but nobody like it was just Scooby-Doo kind of things of like whatever. It's just on when I eat my cereal. And then the 90s happened, and they're like, damn, the end. Music is by Shirley Walker for this episode, who was a supervising composer for all of BTAS, composer of the BTAS NESTAS theme music, and composer for Father's Day, Hand of Fate, and every new Batman Adventures episode so far.
Wow.
So that's pretty cool. And animation is by Coco Dong Yang. Previously animated 42 episodes of BTAS, as well as 15 episodes of STAS, and 3 episodes of the new Batman Adventures. That's all the stuff that I say.
Wow, that's good, man. You did the thing. You said the thing. You mentioned all of my animals by name.
That's very true, including previously wrote a little piece. I'm not going to do that again. If you want to buy us a Yoppie beverage and support the show, We'll give you a shout out in an upcoming episode. We'll also do a push-up for every $1. So send us a coffee for your health and our entertainment. I'm flipping it. It's really healthy to send us money.
It's so healthy.
We're like, wow, I'm so entertained by that. Today's Yoppie Bevs come to us from Dylan Pollock. He didn't say anything, but he's always saying everything. So it doesn't really, we don't need to hear more from him.
We need to hear about Dylan's work life, and if we all need to
true.
raid
it's actually kind of telling how silent he is. I don't know about that.
We should check it. Dylan, how you doing? You okay, buddy?
Can he answer right now live on the podcast? That's a no. All right, let's do 5 push-ups.
Okay.
Here we go. Dylan Pollock. Oh, you didn't do them.
I didn't do them. I was stuck on my bag, and then I wanted to hear what you're saying, and now I'm going to go do them.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hello.
I'm going to do push-ups.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you going to do push-ups?
Me?
Alora, do push-ups.
Hell no.
Do push-ups, Alora. You have to. Everyone's judging you.
Let them.
Every James.
She wants to be judged by the listener.
Oh, yeah. All right. That's your other dog?
Yes.
Should we watch the Catwoman thing?
We should go watch the Catwoman thing.
Okay. Oh, wait. What's your guess for Catwoman's redesign?
Oh, God. It's going to be pointy and terrible.
It's perfect. All right. Here we go.
I thought I felt a chill.
I want you to stay away from Nightwing.
Mother birds usually know when to let their robins leave the nest. He's a big boy wonder now. A man wonder, in fact.
I don't trust you, Selena.
Of course you don't. That's why it never could have worked out between us.
Is this a private party?
Don't you men ever use the door. Don't mind him. He just wants to protect your honor.
I don't need a chaperone.
You don't know what she's capable of.
She's been straight with me. Maybe you just never gave her the chance.
If you don't trust me, Batman, trust him.
I guess I have to.
I was eating a cinnamon roll, as I said, and got like 2 bites into it. Then I heard a and saw that I had bitten part of the fork off. Just the tip of one of the spikes. And so I finished whatever was in my mouth because I was 90% sure that the piece of fork was not in that bite. And then most of it's still sitting here on the plate because I don't know where that piece went and I don't want to find out.
Just eat it with your hands like a normal human.
Sing up, if you're wondering. Sing up,
Eat the cinnamon roll with my hands?
What you just watched. Sing up, take a listen to the synopsis. The shortened summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
Oh, yeah. Can you tell Dylan Pollux what happened in this episode, brother?
Are you trying to be the Boulder, or are you trying to be Hulk Hogan?
It was very Boulder, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was.
The Boulder is wondering what happened in You Scratch My Back. The Boulder is confused.
the Boulder can tell you what happened.
See, this
Turns
is what the
out-
live-action Avatar is missing.
Yes. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Robin is now the mullet, and he's got really small wings.
He is the mullet.
He's absolutely
Cut
the mullet.
the mullet.
The mullet is wanting to very much work alone, and he hates everybody, but he still needs their help.
Does the Yapisode guide for this have to say, like, read in Boulder voice?
I hope not. I can tell this is already going to
yeah.
be painful.
The Boulder is now the mullet. The Robin is tomorrow afternoon.
The mullet is a dick, and he doesn't like anybody, and he doesn't want their help. But it turns out the mullet needs their help because the mullet is fighting the Hook. Selena the Kyle, the Catwoman,
The Kyle.
is
Naranya.
she's also spicy and it like is hitting on the mullet. And
This is so difficult for you to do. It's
kind of hard.
Maybe don't.
Yeah, but I gotta commit. I'm just gonna make it quick.
Right.
So the mullet and the Kyle start working together, and turns out the Kyle is using the mullet to get the ruby stone, emerald stone.
The cat's eye emerald.
That's the one.
Duh.
Is there some continuity in that?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's just there.
I'm like, it seems familiar. I think she's always going after like shiny
Something.
things.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the Kyle uses the mullet to get the stone. The Batman and the Batgirl don't like it and follow the mullet and the Kyle, and they're on a ship, and then they all get in a fight, and the Catwoman is like, the Kyle is like, the bye-bye.
The fog is keeping me from the seeing much. My eyes hurt.
And anyway, cut to the end, and it turns out
Fast forward.
the mullet needs. I'm like so concerned about it now. I don't say it anymore, nor do I say amazing.
Sometimes you say it on purpose.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And the boat explodes into a propeller, and the Kyle's passed out. Everybody has to work together at the end.
That's true. That is the moral of the story.
Also, Catwoman is just like either the horniest or the most manipulative ever.
Are we still doing the thing? The manipulative. The horniest is confused.
I think so.
She's both, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Horny and confused.
This is the official synopsis. Nightwing makes his debut and finds an unlikely ally in Catwoman in trying to expose a South American gun smuggling operation into Gotham City. Expose into Gotham City? I don't know. That's a little clunky, but it works.
So we didn't see any gun smuggling. We saw statues.
No. Fruit.
Fruit.
And then the close-up of the like tiki head. Fruit. Weird looking fruit, yeah.
That's what I call a stone fruit. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Fruit.
There was gun smuggling on the docks. You just didn't see the guns because it's kids WB or something.
We saw so many guns in this episode.
That's
we saw
true.
blood in this episode. We saw a dude's
firing
hook.
through blankets.
Yeah, we saw a dude's hook hand get ripped off of his body.
Yeah, his hand came with it, I hope. The hand that was holding the hook prop inside the sleeve.
Just pops off.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Batman. Yeah. And then he crushed to death. Yeah.
That was way too what's that term I'm looking for? Anticlimactic.
Oh.
Where he's just like, he gets crushed by a thing. It's like, well, he's dead. That was like 30 tons anyway. This big crate full of crates full of stone fruits fell on him. And he like sits up like, oh, that didn't kill me. And then he just kind of
falls over.
And then like passes out. Like, what? No, dude, come on. Batman squints at him.
That happens a lot. He used his heat vision on him.
Squint-a-vision.
I feel like that happens a lot in cartoons where a character will get knocked out in quotes and then stand up and then go, ooh, and fall over later. Like, I don't think that's ever happened to a real human where they've gone like, I have a horrible concussion and I'm going to faint now, but I have just enough time to stand up and pretend to not and then do it anyway. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little loose.
Looney Tunesy.
Little loonsy.
You had several questions throughout this episode.
Thank you. Did you write them down?
No, but in my head, one of them was, you said, when did Batman and Robin get spicy or something like that? Like,
he hates him.
Yeah. Yeah. At the end, it's like, oh, it was a ruse, but was all of it a ruse? I don't think so. I think mostly just tracking Catwoman was a ruse against her or something. You were like, whose side is anybody on at the end?
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so we have this whole episode where it's like the mullet there's no way I'm calling him Nightwing, by the way, because that wing is not a wing and it is too small to propel a human through the air.
Night armpit flaps.
Yes.
Or singular, because I guess he's not night wings. He's just Nightwing.
I might just call him night flaps from now on.
Mullet flaps.
It'll come to us. I have faith.
Yeah.
So Night Flaps is like spicy towards Batman
Flappy Bird.
and Batgirl. And then Selina shows up, Catwoman shows up. She's real friendly to Night Flaps, but spicy to Bat and Bird. And then...
Wait, is Bird Batgirl? She's Bat.
Oh, yeah. Bat. I don't
She
know
a bird because she's a bird, you know?
In my head, she was a bird for a minute there. Don't worry about it. Female Robin.
Female Bat. I wish they could come up with a better name than that, but I guess they never will.
And Nightwing is now ex-Bat Boy.
Man Wonder, as Catwoman said.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that was kind of gross. So we have everybody's kind of spicy towards everybody, but you got this like partnership of Night Flaps and Catwoman. There's the double cross at the end.
Are you just describing the episode again?
Kinda, but like stick with
You're trying
this.
to figure out who's on whose side or something?
That's it. Yeah. So at the end, there's the double cross. So like Nightwing's been kind of anti-Batman and Batgirl.
Yeah.
And now after the double cross, Nightwing is anti-Catwoman, who's now anti-Nightwing, Batman, and Batgirl.
Yeah.
And then the cronies and the bad guys all come in. And so Nightwing is against all of them. Batman
Having Enrique El Gancho turn around and go, just kidding, I was on Batman's side the whole time.
But it's like, so now Selina's stolen from them. So it is everybody? Like who's got who's back?
It was just Catwoman was always bad guy and just being tricksy. And then Nightwing was like, I'll play into this, but I'm actually a good person. It's not that complicated, Brian.
And then we had the double cross, and it turns out that Nightwing was on Batman's side the whole time, except for why were they spicy at the start when Catwoman wasn't around?
I assume that the spiciness at the start is real, and at some point off screen, Batman and Nightwing talk to each other and were like, look, Catwoman fucking sucks. Don't do this. And he's like, hey, you're right. But then I'll pretend to keep being Catwoman's butt buddy. I don't know. But the spiciness will be revealed later. The Batman Robin spiciness. Because, there's new Robin and Dick Grayson been gone. There's a couple of years between the shows, etc.
Okay. I'll wait for that more information.
Yes, you will. It was interesting that Dick Grayson's 2-second cameo at the end of Sins of the Father, where do you remember this at all?
Yes.
He walks into the karate room. Hey, no one can be a boy wonder forever. I'm Dick Grayson. And then they're like, Dick. And then the episode ends. He has the mullet there, but it's tied back in a ponytail, and he's standing in front of a black background. So you can just barely see that it's there, so it wouldn't register at all. And then that's the first thing you see in this episode is a panning shot of the skyline and then a close-up of Nightwing and his mullet's flowing in the wind, and you just went, oh. And I wasn't sure if it was a mullet reaction or just an overall, here's Nightwing for the first time. You've never seen this costume or whatever.
It was a mullet reaction.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's be honest. It was the mullet.
I don't know why.
Confused. Why am I here?
I don't know why. Maybe it was from watching. Maybe it was from watching your videos in the past. Maybe it was from conversations we had. I knew that was Dick.
Well, I mean, you also just knew from guessing Pussy and Dick was the episode last time. So
that's fair, but just visually,
yeah, okay.
That must have been something that I retained from your videos without really.
Well, and I asked you last time also if you knew any expanded Robin lore that he became Nightwing. You said no. So you just have that. This is your Nightwing intro, I guess.
It's weird that I guess yeah. I think it was more the thinking back on that. It must have been that it was just more the Robin lore is loose, but that I did know that Dick became. Yeah, okay. Mullet Man.
The mullet is, I'm pretty sure this show originates the mullet, but then Nightwing has had a mullet not entirely since then, but a lot of the time. Like in the Teen Titans cartoon, like a decade later, they have like a flash forward episode to the future, and Robin is Nightwing, and he has long hair and stuff like that. But usually he keeps
that
the same.
sounds familiar.
Usually he keeps the same short, spiky Robin hair that he always has. He's just like older or whatever. But I do kind of like that because the Nightwing costume is so nothing. Like it's just a big black onesie with the blue bird on it. Like that's the entire costume.
Yeah.
I at least appreciate that the mullet is sort of like his cape. It's like his little head cape.
No, he's got his flaps. That's his cape. Surely.
You can't stand on a rooftop and look cool if nothing's flapping. He's gotta have hair.
He's just sitting there like, think, Dick, think.
Yeah, what do I do? Oh, I'll just wait a year and try this again. Just got to keep it short in the front, though.
Business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah. Oh, I like the sound of that. I feel like you had a comment on him balding or something at the start too, though.
He is balding.
his a very pronounced widow's peak. Yeah.
Yeah.
It like goes back a lot more than it probably should. Yeah.
How old is he?
So he's like early 20s and as Nightwing. Yeah. Okay. You. Sorry, Joe. Joe could be Nightwing if he just let his hair grow out, I guess.
Ooh.
Crypt Keeper Nightwing.
Joe.
So sorry, Joe.
Joe with a mullet. Joe, don't grow a mullet.
Joe, you're listening to this, obviously.
Joe, don't grow a mullet.
Next time he's on, we'll just tell him to grow a mullet.
I don't know. I think Joe looks like a classy dude. I think if he grows a mullet, he would look a little too Florida man. I don't know. I feel like a strawberry
Nobody
blonde
knows
mullet
Joe except us that's listening to this.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just in my own world. I'm going to stop.
What the hell are you talking about? Yeah. He was on for the Ra's al Ghul's and the Mixia Spitlicks, okay? Mm-hmm. I looked up Dick Grayson became Nightwing in 80s comics, and then Crisis on Infinite Earths happened, which like reset all continuity. Do you know about this at all? It was a big like multiverse fight thing, like one of the first of its kind. DC had a bunch of different Earths for all their different stories, and they're like, this is too confusing for readers, and we need to combine a bunch of these.
I vaguely remember you talking about Earth something, but that might have been for like one of the videos that I was working on.
DC, like, we need to make this less confusing. Let's just combine a bunch of them into one continuity, one Earth. And so they did Crisis on Infinite Earths, and everybody's fighting the big bad guy, and then at the end there's just one Earth, and yay, now it's not confusing, except a decade later when it's just multiple Earths again, and it doesn't matter. But Nightwing, Robin became Nightwing.
What happened to all the other Earths?
They got destroyed. They got vaporized and bad.
So infinites of billions of people died?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. But I had to look this up because I had a vague memory of the moniker of Nightwing was a Kryptonian character first. Like, oh, they had Batman on Krypton and he was named Nightwing. And this is true post-Crisis on Infinite Earths. Like that's the story. But apparently before Crisis on Infinite Earths, the only Nightwing before Dick Grayson Nightwing was... Do you remember, I think I mentioned during the first Brainiac episode where he has the orbs, that the comic equivalent of that was... He just goes to a planet and takes a city and shrinks it down into like a bottle.
Yes.
And puts it. So there was a Krypton city in a bottle that Superman took from him and like kept like, they're Kryptonians in here. Someday I'll figure out how to make you big again. And he never does. And so he just has this bottle city. When he goes down to like, he shrinks himself down to like hang out with them sometimes, but they have a red sun. So he loses all his powers. So he just put on a costume and was Nightwing as their superhero. I don't know why he changed, why he wasn't just Superman without powers. He had to be a different person. But he's just this really goofy, like black and blue superhero. And I guess that's the comic story, is that he like Dick Grayson took inspiration from that or whatever. None of that applies here at all. He just is Nightwing now.
Quick question.
Yeah.
If he can shrink himself down to visit the city,
but he can't make the city big. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, can't he like pull people out one at a time and unshrink them? Or
I don't
like
know.
it would take a long time, but like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna do 100 people a day.
He just really overpopulates Earth by bringing back an entire like New York City of I don't know, man. I don't know. This was all like the goofiest time of comic books where I don't know much information about it. So.
Got it.
Yeah, I told you all that for basically no reason. But what'd you think of this episode that we watched?
It was good, honestly. All my
It was pretty good, yeah.
bouldering aside, the storyline was like, kind of predictable, but it was good.
I mean, predictable in that we assumed Catwoman's actually up to something, but we don't know what. Yeah.
It's what she does every time. Yeah, I didn't know that she was going. I guess I could have guessed that she was going after some kind of gemstone or whatever. But like, that's kind of her MO. I was a little confused by Nightwing's spiciness, but it was all good. The art was really good.
Yeah. I can't decide if I want to talk about that now or in Keen Effects, but I have lots of moments of like surprisingly good art. I have a hunch that this is Coco Dong Yang in credit only. Like, I feel like they gave this to somebody else. Like, there are some parts that look like them, and then there's like when Barbara and Dick are hanging out in Dick Manor, and
Dick's just hanging out in the
shirtless
loft.
Dick, and that looked like Coco Dong Yang, but then most of the episode was what? You're just 5 years old. Yeah.
I was just having a like night wings for Harambe kind of thing going on in my head.
Flaps out for Harambe. Yeah. You were so upset by those every time. You're like, there's not enough.
Oh my God,
there's not
dude.
enough of a wing at all to do. Yeah, I mean, it's like those. What are those suits that people like jump off cliffs in or whatever?
Yeah, the flying suits,
But that's like your legs have them and your arms have them, and it's like your whole body.
To the end of your arms, it's to your feet, like it's this whole thing.
Yeah.
And those like you can only stay horizontal for so long. Like you're still constantly falling at the rate that gravity makes you fall, but you can also go horizontal. And these are. It's like the size of like a handkerchief. He like cut a handkerchief in half and
he
sewed
has
them in his
those
armpits.
Spider-Man web armpits and just goes goodbye.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't. I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean Spider-Man does that nowadays too. He just flies like that. But
no.
Anyway, the animation. I was just thinking how the fight at the end in the boat looked like way better than a lot of the episode, and then just a lot of times where I was like, this looks not like Coco Dong Yang to me. This looks like a better company. I mean,
the boat taken off into the surf at the very end, so like white foamy like frosty trails behind it was like very Sunrise to me. Like I was like kind of like taken aback of like whoa, that because it had that anime sort of timing thing that we've talked about an increasing number of times now, which we should probably figure out what that's called.
Nah,
but
anime slow-mo, anime 300 Zack Snyder is the blueprint. He created slow motion
.jpeg.
Yes, that's the name of my other dog.
But yeah, there was so many moments where it's just, like the bullets coming down through the water, and like maybe we should just talk Keen Effects because
I was
talking
gonna
about
say,
them.
might as well just kind of meld it in because the even though the fog hurt my eyes, it was still kind of a cool thing, a keen thing. Well, there were a couple really good ones. Nightwing running on top of the crates on the dock at the start, like the camera is moving along the bottom of the crates looking up at him. That was really well done.
Why did he do that?
Yeah, he jumped off through the camera and then landed with a puff of dust that looked really good. But then you said, what was the point of that? Because
he didn't have sight of the guy, apparently.
No, he just jumped down to hope that he was somewhere else. Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to land on this guy. Oh, wait, where is he? Oh, shit.
If he kept running like 6 more feet, then he would have just looked over the edge of the side and seen Catwoman beat the guy up, and then it wouldn't have been a cool Catwoman reveal or whatever.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
We do it for the reveals.
But yeah, lots of, I don't know, lots of very keen things. Camera angles and moments of like when they're in the pool, they're underwater, there's some kind of like mildly warpy filter going on them underwater was good. I don't know. I was surprised because I remember this episode being kind of boring, like just like a whatever episode. But maybe it's because we're coming on the heels of the Steel episode, or I don't know. But
I don't think it was boring.
Yeah.
Like I think it was a good episode.
Yeah. Okay. You guessed Catwoman pointy and terrible. Did you think she was terrible?
Yeah.
That was the other question you had. You said, was her hair always black? And I just shook my head and you went like, okay. You just kind of just give into that at this point. Were Joker's eyes always backwards? Like, no.
Yeah, they have a thing with eyes and like just like, okay, like she's got the white out shape of eyes now. I guess it's a mask thing, whatever. Yeah. Also, Batbird Girl. There was a
that shot far away. Yeah,
she's got like super big circular no eyes, and then as she swings into frame, she's got eyes again. That's very Coco Don Yang.
I have been working on some art for the channel that you can't see for a while.
Great.
That just features a bunch of characters, and I'm using I committed to a size 5 brush on Photoshop to draw this, but the farther away characters get, I'm like, damn it, I should have gone with like one number lower or something like that, because it's really hard to draw more details the farther away the character is.
Why
like
does it matter what size brush you use?
Because I want to keep the like, I don't know, consistency across the whole thing. I don't want it to, like, if I'm drawing it with an actual pencil, like I can't go find a smaller pencil, you know what I mean?
You can sharpen your pencil.
No, man, you know what I'm saying.
There's also different pencil hardnesses for things like that.
I'm giving an excuse for Batgirl's eyes and other instances of this sort of thing.
They just
excuse. This big stamp of this.
Yeah.
James's excuse. There should be a segment of the podcast. Look, Brian, Batgirl didn't have eyes in that one shot because she was too small to draw the eyes. Okay.
Yeah.
But then she got swung closer to the camera and her eyes came back. They came into place and you're like, nice.
She just had a moment with her eyes rolling in the back of her head. It's fine.
She just closed them real hard and even her eyelids disappeared.
Her eyelids, her eyebrows went into her eyes.
Yes.
She closed her forehead to her cheekbones.
Yeah, down past the mask. There we go. That's a superpower.
Sweet.
Catwoman has black hair. That's explained in a tie-in comic connected to this show, that she had blonde hair and then found out that the company that made the bleach that she had been using for forever, that she has naturally black hair and she'd been bleaching her hair all of btas, and found out that the company that made that is like animal cruelty testing on animals bad. And so she's like, no, my cats, I love cats, don't do that to the cats, and then stopped using the bleach.
Okay.
And that's how they explain it. So, yeah.
I mean, that's a cool backstory. But also, if you're like, man, this bleach is really me, what if you just switch to a cruelty-free
a different one. Yeah, I guess.
Or just hydrogen peroxide.
She just went like, well, I've been looking for an excuse to not look like Michelle Pfeiffer anymore, so I might as well take the opportunity.
The amount of times I've said that.
I know. I wish I didn't look like Michelle Pfeiffer. I just hate it.
You know, I just like want to go to the grocery store once without somebody asking me if I'm Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah,
Oh, God. I mean, it's nice when I go to the bar and I'm getting free drinks. People be like, oh my God, Michelle, can I buy you a drink? Like, absolutely.
Oh, sorry. A lot of people a lot of people get that wrong. It happens all the time. I'm actually a 40-year-old man. Not a 60-something
with brown hair and too much stubble for the gig that I have to do tonight.
Same size tits, though. It's weird. I've said tits a lot lately on this podcast.
Good for you.
Anyway, let's talk about the cast of this episode.
Let's talk about the cast of this episode, because I am actually really curious if it's the same Selina Kyle.
It is.
Oh.
Kevin Conroy as Batman/Bruce Wayne. He was not Bruce Wayne in this episode.
He was not.
Adrienne Barbeau as Catwoman/Selina Kyle. Lauren Lester as Nightwing/Dick Grayson. Tara Cherendoff as Batgirl/Barbara Gordon. And then we have Sal Lopez as Enrique El Gancho. This is one of 2 DCAU acting credits. I did not.
He was actually he was pretty good.
Yeah. I was just going to say, I couldn't have predicted this, but he played a character named The Rock in Full Metal Jacket. So that's cool. He's been in a bunch of different things, but I noted that he played older goat herder in Batman v Superman. So that's an interesting credit. I don't know when, maybe the start of the movie in the desert. I have no idea. And then he was ADR or additional voices for Logan, Machete Kills, Life of Pi, and The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Neat.
We have Joe Lala returning as Gunrunner number 1. He was previously Dickie the Thug in Bane, Electrician in Fun and Games, and Maitre D in Identity Crisis. You know, like Bizarro, he went east. He left the restaurant this way. Steve McGowan as Gunrunner number 2. Previously additional voices in The Cat and the Claw. That was his only prior credit in this.
Nice.
And then last we have Michael David Donovan as Gunrunner number 3.
MDD?
Yeah, MDD. Last episode, he was male anchor on the news in heavy metal. He was just sticking around. They're like, hey, you want to be Gunrunner number 3? He's like, huh? Am I on? Am I on the news? No, sir. We're doing a different episode now. Oh, that's what the Gunrunner said. And that's your other dog. Trivs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gimme.
When Catwoman's escape boat blows up, the resulting explosion is reused footage from the
fucking
scene in
God
Superman the
damn
Animated
it.
Series episode World's Finest Part 3, in which 2 Wayne Lex T7 droids blow up after Batman electrocutes them. I don't think we've had that one yet.
Okay.
So that's kind of neat. The shipping schedule contains the names of several famous ships. Andrea Doria was an Italian admiral. Several ships were named after him. The SS Minnow is the charter boat that ran aground in Gilligan's Island. The Poseidon is a cruise liner from disaster book and movies The Poseidon Adventure. And the HMS Bounty, famous for its 1789 mutiny. HMS is a prefix only used by the Royal Navy, and military ships do not appear in civilian schedules. So that's not how that works. Something like that. Floppy disk, big SD cards.
Yeah, big SD cards.
Episodes.
That one, I think, that was thicker than a regular like 3.5.
It did look a little,
I think that was one of those zip discs. Do you remember those?
No, I noticed the little like carved out side bit though. I don't know if that's goes with what you're saying, but
I'm not sure. But zip discs were like a double or triple thick disc.
Okay.
Held like 100 megabytes or something like that, which back in the days was like,
that's crazy.
There's no reason for something this big. That's insane. My buddy Brad used to have one, Brad previously from this podcast, as the guy who gave us the idea to
fake trivs. And we stopped doing very quickly.
Sorry,
also, in the Nightwing's mullet is modeled after Hulk Hogan's mullet, is the balding part of it. Did I send you that picture of Hulk Hogan at age 33?
No.
So, listener, I just turned 33 last Friday. Happy birthday, Jamie.
Happy double butts, Jamie.
Happy double butts. I found there were at WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan was only 33 years old, but he looks like at least 50 something, if not more.
Yeah, I'm looking at this now, and that's 33.
It was like that guy from Goldfinger I showed you who was 39 and he looks like 60 or 70 almost, like he's just
I know, it does make you feel a little bit better.
Catwoman tells Nightwing, this partner thing is new to me, even though she's worked with Batman multiple times and once with Batgirl. She may have been lying though, as she was trying to manipulate Nightwing. What do you think about that?
I think she thought she was single.
No,
that's not a good
What did you
joke.
think in general about Catwoman hitting on Robin essentially? Because she presumably is around Batman's age.
Yeah.
And then Batman was 30 something, maybe late 20s when he adopted a 9-year-old Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other, but I
mean,
it's not that
20 year difference. I don't know. There's a point in time where the age thing, I think, gets a little bit wishy-washy. And I think in America specifically, there is a bit of that that social faux pas of dating an older woman, Jamie. But like
7 hours.
he seems,
That's where the maximum is 5.
he seems to be pretty consenting with it. Although she's like very feely very quickly.
Yeah, and she just kisses him at that was something I was thinking about when she kissed him was we had the Scarecrow episode where the office guy has no fear and he just kisses secretary lady.
Oh yeah.
And then there was also some other, it was Metallo kisses Lois Lane or something like that. Like we've had these instances of like, oh no, bad, don't, please. This one didn't feel like that because he was also kind of being a little flirty back for a while, but it was also just kind of one of those like, if the genders were reversed, you wouldn't be saying this right now kind of.
It's so much more convoluted than that, but it is generally like a girl stereotypically is generally being more overpowered.
Sure,
by a guy. It's a more forceful
thing.
thing.
Of course, also Catwoman lost half her body mass for the new Batman adventure, so you never know.
She's pretty twiggy. Like
I think you kind of just raised an eyebrow when she first appeared on screen, where you're just like, all right, I guess this is just what's happening now.
I feel like, we've gotten to the point where I have to shrug off a lot of designs.
I think I told you during Batgirl Returns, which was the Catwoman Batgirl team-up episode, I think I told you during that one that there was like a message board post way back when of a promotional drawing from that episode where it's Catwoman and Batgirl on a motorcycle driving away from the police and the motorcycle's like rearing up.
Yeah.
And they're very boobular, like more so even than in the show. And people were using that as like, man, new Batman Adventures designs fucking suck. They used to look like women.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it's just like, okay, different body types exist, LOL. But I mean, New Batman Adventures.
Yeah, different body types. Men body types and women body types,
and
Jamie.
Women
Get
I
with
mean, that's
it.
what it is now, kind of. And Dick Grayson is like skinnier than Batman, but otherwise everybody looks basically...
Yeah, he's like...
Lois Lane, Batgirl, Catwoman, they're all just like flop the heads off of these people.
I like that they just took like the Batman body type and for Nightwing, they just like grabbed the bounding box and squeezed it in just a little bit. It's got the same angles. It's just a little bit narrower.
He really is just like... just skirted in a little bit, yeah. This episode marks the first ever appearance of Nightwing in media outside of the comics, so that's kind of cool.
I'm sorry I didn't make a bigger deal about that, Jamie.
I know, you should have been really impressed.
Whoa!
With his wing flaps. Last thing I have is blood is shown twice in this episode, which you said when it happened, the first time at least.
Yeah.
Enrique Algancho cuts Batman's arm and has blood running from his
mouth.
It says nose. I think it was his mouth.
It's the corner of his mouth.
Yeah, no, that was whenever that happens, it's like, blood. Whoa, what? Red. Barbecue sauce. They're leaking barbecue sauce. Does Nightwing have spare costumes that he puts on between scenes? Because the Hook guy ripped his chest open, and then he just didn't have that later. But he didn't have the gray pajamas underneath like in Clock King, so I guess we'll give it a little bit of excuse. He's just wearing a pajama version of his Nightwing costume, even more pajama version. Did you?
How much more pajama?
Yeah.
90% pajama.
Nightwing's pajama-ness. 1 through 10.
How much PJ? I like you got to say it in like the EA Sports voice. I think that's my go-to.
PJ Sports. It's in your closet. What did you want to talk about his motorcycle at all? You had comments on that.
Oh my God. So I was really like amped up at the very beginning because his wheels looked like they were hovering. And I got all like techie being like, oh yeah, Jamie, like the spokeless wheel, like that's totally like, that's a design that people have figured out how to do. Like you can see it on some like custom bikes. And then I was just like, oh, that's cool. They did that. And it's like totally a thing in reality. And then like the next time we see it, his bike has spokes. And I'm like, that's not what you did a minute ago. What the fuck?
Yeah. When you said that at first, I didn't have a distinct memory of whether the spokes were there or not, and then I was just kind of trying to imagine the motorcycle because he had already like driven off in it.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that the motorcycle has like at least like kind of futuristic looking wheels, so I would believe that there's no spokes. And then the next time you see it, there are spokes again. So I wonder if that shot that you saw that I barely saw for the non-spokes was like a mistake, like if they forgot to put them in, or if they're non-spoked until they're moving, and then they'd have to show motion somehow, so they just put like a looking thing there.
No, because we see both of them moving and not moving.
Okay, all right. I don't know. What am I, DCAU guy? I don't know. Okay. Nightwing's motorcycle.
I need you to know this.
I should.
He went from.
All I can tell you is the bottle city of Candor. Yeah. That would be neat if there was just a circle floating in the middle, but then they'd also just have to be like, well, Batman made me a bike, but I still don't like him. Because like, where does the money come? I can't remember if they said it in this episode in the Batgirl conversation in the loft or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that there's Nightwing inheriting some kind of money from his dead circus parents. That's how he can live on his own or whatever.
I was just going to ask if he was like a trust fund to Bruce, because like Bruce being like, a bazillionaire, like cool, he gets all his toys and his money and all that shit. But like,
well, and you know from personal experience how much circus people make.
Yeah, not a lot. Yeah. I mean, even Barnum and Bailey
left
went
you
out
this
of business.
$5 bill and an elephant. Is this helpful? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any circus owners are like Batman rich.
He lives in like the top apartment of a building, and somehow he has like a tube that drives through the floor and then out the, like, what are those called?
Storm drain sewer.
Yeah, the
something.
like waterway things by bridges in towns we don't live in. And he zooms out of there and has to like bank off the other side in order to get like, why didn't he aim that differently? Or like, I gotta look cool. I'm gonna do Tony Hawk's every time I come out of here. That's gonna be really neat.
I'm just imagining the real estate agent giving tours of the apartments below. Yeah, and there's just like a 10-foot tube that goes diagonally.
He's fighting Pokemon back there.
But really,
there's a
imagine
tube running through the apartment. Yeah. Every once in a while, Nightwing, I mean Dick Grayson, he just drives his motorcycle through your apartment. Sorry.
It's a normal thing in this neighborhood. Don't worry about it.
Or he owns the whole building because he's rich or something. I don't know.
He's from that rich circus money.
Yeah. That circus bank. Batman's usefulness.
Pretty high.
Yeah. I mean, he was on. Okay.
He beat up Captain Hook.
Yeah, he killed Captain Hook. He left a tracking thing on Catwoman's whip somehow. I guess because he caught her hand. That's actually giving me a better reason. I thought I'm having 50 thoughts at once. Catwoman comes up to Batman and is like, well, we used to fuck. And then she goes like, lifts back the whip like she's going to attack him. And when she comes forward, Batman grabs her wrist and stops her. And I thought that was a really stupid thing. For one, even if he was across the room from you, he could have stopped you. But you're like a foot away and you tried to use the whip on him? Like, what was the point? Were you going to just hit him with the handle?
Let me tell you, Jamie, they have plenty of experience being a foot away and utilizing the whip.
The way after that came out of my mouth. But anyway.
That's what she said when they were a foot away and utilizing the whip.
Jesus Christ.
You're welcome.
Anyway, this is the pussy dick episode. When Batman catches the whip, I guess he secretly puts a tracker on it.
Yeah.
So they put the tracker on presumably Isis, and Isis runs away and have a night on the town. And then Batman and Batgirl go, oh, not going to investigate this any further. They're moving way faster than normal. Let's drive away. And I thought like, okay, so I guess Batman knows that they're going to do that and is leading Catwoman away, or leading Catwoman to believe, that they're following them. But then how do they know where they're actually going? I guess Nightwing told Batman at some point, or secretly radioed him off screen, or I don't know, because they just show up on the boat.
He's got a tracker in a special place as well.
Oh yeah,
it's tucked into his mullet.
Yeah, he always has a couple trackers just laced in there, just braided into his hair, just in case. He's actually, knowing Batman, he probably like implanted a tracker.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
The day he adopted him. Like, I am not, this is not happening. Although, no, because when Dick Grayson in Robin's Reckoning, we saw him like running around as a little kid, like, do you know Tony Zuko? Help me. And then Batman has to go like fly around in the Batwing spotlighting everywhere. Maybe that was just putting him on. He's just like, I know where you are. I'm going to let you have your fun. Fly around.
I think I'm going to give him I'm going to give him an 8. I'm going to give him an 8.
Oh, man.
Bulletproof diving boards out of 10.
Okay. I'll give him 7 pasta nets. The net that falls on Nightwing, and then Batman throws a batarang through it, and it goes like, and it has like cylindrical, like it just
noodles?
looks like pasta. Like it's very thick pasta noodles that fell over him. Yeah,
Not a pasta strainer. It's an actual pasta net.
Pasta net. Yeah,
I love it.
I did really like that shot of Batman also leaning against the crates at the start, where he's just like sitting there, and the guy runs up and just, oh fuck, okay, and runs away, and then Nightwing runs up and he's all ears, like, go ahead.
He went
face,
that
like,
way.
Yeah, he went east. But yeah, it's just a cool shot of Batman. It's one of those things that's made me think, like, because Batman is like highlightless now, like he has like the one shoulder highlight and everything else is just black, like matte black.
Yeah.
They have to have his thumb be like way off the side of his body so you can
it's like
see the
over
profile.
the lit up crate.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, he'd normally go like, he's all right over there, but he'd just be behind his cape or his chest or something. I have no idea what you're doing.
Batman
what motion are you making to me?
He just
flipping him
went
off.
that way. And then Nightwing's like looking at him and like darting back and forth like, what?
Do I have to cross my eyes like one of those puzzles where is your thumb going to pop out? Where's Clayface, Brian?
He's the dust. No.
Yeah.
He's the pottery. He's the pottery that Selena Kyle's smashing.
Yeah, she's just going, and yeah. He's the fruit.
What? Okay, what was her plan? I mean, obviously her plan is to get the cat's eye emerald, whatever. But there's a whole container ship full of these wooden crates, and we see, I don't know, 20 or 30 of these crates in the shot where she's smashing these pots, which there's at least 6 of in each of those crates. She's just going to smash each individual
It was a good thing
one.
she found it so quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, she was going to do that regardless with Nightwing 5 feet away. You would think she'd knock him out first or something, but
no.
She's just like, I'm going to start. And he's like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I just needed this. Goodbye. No, I'm not going to let you leave. Oh, fuck. I didn't think this through. I should have actually not done this with you right there. Yeah, I mean, she did it because the episode needed her to do it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I agree that the story of this is not the strongest thing ever, but I think that the character interactions and the art elevate it for me to be like, oh yeah, fun old time just was had by me and maybe Brian.
Yeah, no, this is not one of those episodes that I want to like shit on the whole time.
It's also not one that I'm like, I can't wait till I watch that again.
Correct. Yeah, not like going out of my way to watch this one, but it was cool, and it's not a bad introduction. I mean, like, considering the introduction we just had was Steel.
And I guess this episode did a good job of Nightwing. Like, you already went like, why are Batman and old Robin so spicy? Why what's going on? Like, it's in your brain now of like, I need to know kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It didn't just go like, yep, here's Nightwing, and he's all, because like I keep thinking of all this
like our introduction to Robin originally.
Yeah, or suddenly there came a Nightwing. Yeah. suddenly there came a mullet flaps, or whatever we're calling him. Yeah. Clayface was his mullet.
Books or hip hop?
God, that's so good.
Hip hop.
Books.
Okay. On that topic, I guess, slightly, I did like Nightwing's theme song that played every time. It was like trumpets. He has got the golden ticket every time he shows up. Which I didn't think of ever as the lyrics until I think Kyle a couple episodes ago sang it, and then you like you sang the Golden Ticket song to yourself right afterward. Like you're like, oh, the similarities. And then now when it was playing in this episode like 4 or 5 times, and I'm just like, damn it, that's what it is now.
You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah, the Superman theme song is just Superman, Superman, but Nightwing gets the Willy Wonka lyrics for some reason. Top 10. You have to put it on there, but where is it? Yeah, you're in the right spot. I think I'm putting this at number 3, above Sins of the Father and Cold Comfort. It's definitely above Cold Comfort, and I was struggling with whether it's better than Sins of the Father. I think I just had a better time watching this than Sins of the Father. I don't know.
I could see that. Muy. Oh.
You scratch muy dick.
Good for you. God, the art was really good, but I don't want that to be a super defining characteristic.
You can have whatever you want, baby.
I think this is where we're gonna
explain your reason.
We're
finally diverging.
We're diverging
on New Batman Adventures. Anyway, we've had the same top 4 list so far.
Scratch.
No. To Scratcho. Burt Bacharach.
There we go. Yeah. So I put that at my number 4. You put that at your number 3.
Oh my gosh, we're in such disagreement.
Oh, I hate
I'm
you.
so mad at you. The boulder is confused. We're going to do the Yoppie Mail. When we come back, I will tell Brian the name of the next episode. He has to guess what it's about.
Okay.
Unless there was anything else you wanted to say about this episode.
I have thoughts about this episode that I would like to say.
Okay, what are they?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
very thoughtfully put in.
Yeah.
That yacht had one small extra yacht put it over.
We drop
What we drop?
our weekly yacht
Oh yeah, those.
into the comment box. There sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're
At
wrong.
least I am.
Just Dylan Paula.
That was good. It was an octave lower than what I was doing. Music. If you want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, Brian's other dog, you can send a punctuated email or a 60-second voice message to batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on today's episode on the Podtower YouTube channel. But please don't spoil anything past this episode for Brian.
Or anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like Kimmy.
Yeah, that would be nice. This is comments and emails from last episode, Heavy Metal, or featuring improvements made by Intergang. This is from Tip Tapricot. Vague ramblings in case I can't rewatch the episode before mail. But from what I remember, contrary to popular opinion, what? You're staring at me like you're saying you want to say something.
I'm paying attention to you, Jamie.
Oh, I'm sorry. I actually believe the Catwoman redesign.
I'm sorry that sometimes when I can rein in my ADD, it confuses you.
What's going on?
To be fair, off screen, I was like madly fiddling with this Velcro thing.
Yeah, I know. I'll hear it later. I actually believe the Catwoman redesign to be the worst of the TNBA updates. While I think the shorter, dark cut looks good on Selena, the Catwoman outfit is trash, and the weird white skin is weird. Oh, we didn't talk about that at all. How when she's wearing her Catwoman costume, she has like a Harley Quinn, like white painted lower face. And when she's not wearing the Catwoman costume, she just has normal skin.
I don't think I really noticed that. I think it was just for me like a contrast, a lighting thing. It didn't seem that she was like goth white from the nose down.
Is that the adult subtitle? Well, but yeah, I mean for years I've just been like, why when she puts on the costume does her face magically become like powdered white? Like what's going on? And then there's a book called Batman Animated that's like the behind the scenes of this show, of Batman the Animated Series. And the last few pages are like, here we are transitioning into the new Batman adventures, and here's a bunch of new designs and stuff. And it just says that she has white makeup on her face. So I don't know. It's whatever.
Is it supposed to be that like when you get a black cat with like the white tuft of fur on their chest and it's real cute?
Oh, yeah. Like, that's all I need. I'm Catwoman now. Well, yeah, her costume is just all black now, too.
Yeah.
Whatever. Along with the look change, she has a whole new personality that feels like it leans more into frisky, promiscuous, and flighty, where before she was relatively loyal and grounded, even at times when she'd betrayed Bruce or worked off of impulse. She just feels shallower, and the design makes her look younger and quote-unquote hotter and less mature. They're all just changes I really don't like. Dick mullets forever, though. I think I called on these contemplations something like fruity, fizzy water or something once. I don't remember. Our chronologically desynced listener base will have to remind me sometime. Yeah, this is from Keen Machine. Never fear, Keen is here.
Ooh.
Greetings, James and Brian. I know you took a week off and I'm still submitting this email last minute, but I'm a week behind. It's fine. You know why? Please sing the following sentence in a teasing tone. Because you liked a TNBA redesign. Okay. See, was that so hard? There's many more wonderful redesigns to come. You'll see. You'll all see. I'll have my day in Yoppie Court to make my case. Also, Never Fear is one of my favorite episodes of TNBA. It's great to see Scarecrow reverse his strategy by taking people's fear away, thus proving how vital fear is to human psychology. I love his new voice as much as his new look. It's also nice to see Robin take the lead for an episode and prove himself genuinely useful to Batman. All right, that's all. Hopefully next time I can get back on track. We'll see. We'll all see. Keep it keen. Thank you, Keen. This is Leno Lacola. Tug on the super cape. Good Lord, what is on Dick's head? I hope the mullet didn't scare you too badly, Brian. Not as bad as the Joker's redesign, in my opinion. Just that we'll have to deal with both for now. Now for the episode, You Scratch My Back, a.k.a. Who's More Jealous, Bruce to Selina or Barbara to Dick? Do not taunt the claw. It's an Ed and Eddie reference. Since Black Cat and Black Panther are taken, I guess Selina could go by the cougar in TNBA. That's good. If I had a nickel for every time Batman faced a hulking Hispanic on a boat while Dick Grayson went after the female antagonist, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't much, but it's weird that it happened twice. That's Bane. Bane and Michael Jackson. Not only is this episode showing off Dick Grayson as Nightwing, it's also the return of Catwoman and the extra-large SD card, a.k.a. a floppy disk. Good episode overall. I really enjoyed Lauren Lester's more confident delivery as Nightwing compared to his BTAS college Dick days. However, the Bat family's counter plan to prevent Catwoman from making off with the jewel hits a snag for me with Barbara and Dick's scene at Dick's pad. I mean, I think that's pre-planned, but whatever. Ejected shells from the Hook's henchmen submachine guns, and they thankfully do not become laser weapons like in Heavy Metal. I'll get back to y'all faster than Batman sneaking a tracking device onto Catwoman's whip till we yop again, and I hope Brian continues to love a good pussycat and Dick Grayson.
What have I done?
Remains to be seen. Euphonium Star Damage Report for Heavy Metal.
Oh.
Bank wall, bank vault door, bank doors, crates, 4 cop cars, jukebox, refrigerator, trash can, boxes, police motorcycle, truck, lamppost, steel's wrist gun thing, barrels, Metallo's clothes, walls, sidewalk, telephone pole, fire escape, metal pipe, dumpster, Natasha's car, under construction building, barrels again, more trash cans, boxes, and crates, Natasha's car again, purple car, bathing man's wall, newspaper stand, blue car, metal car, oh, sorry, metal ladder. I fucked up. Green car, fire hydrant, bus stop, laser guns, dumpster lid, another blue car, railing, steel's labs, roof, wall, crates, floor, and another wall, Metallo's chest, street. Thank you. I tried to do that in one breath and I said car instead of ladder. Fuck me. This is from Batgirl Fangirl. You scratched my back or Robin becomes a flying squirrel. The bad guys at the start were so thoughtful. They brought their own forklift to their caper. Shame it's now at the bottom of Gotham's waterfront. We didn't talk about the forklift. You're like, here I come at 3 miles an hour. It's charging.
It was pretty brilliantly anticlimactic, actually.
Is this the Austin Powers steamroller? No!
Yes.
Good job, Batman was there to save Nightwing from that net. It must have been incredibly heavy or something.
That's a lot of pasta.
Yeah, it's a lot of pasta, man. Speaking of Batman, that uppercut. I'm surprised Hook Guy's head didn't bounce off the ceiling. He hit him so hard. I've always loved this one. Definitely one of my favorites. A good solid episode. It was great to see Batman Light, now with no added sugar, back in action. I know I'm biased, but I really like how they used Batgirl in this one as well, saving Nightwing at the start and end of the episode. They did her character so well. Keen podcast lads, 5 stars and 5 diddy little cat's eye emeralds. Cool. Thank you. This is from Legacy Michael Allen. Yopton's Log.
Yopton's Log, number 45. I feel as though some of the roughest waters are behind me in my quest. Through the twisting waters of Cape Vertigo, I proceeded east as it was the only conceivable path for me to take.
Obviously.
I noticed large shrapnel debris scattered among the waves, seemingly robotic limbs that went half back and half forth in my path. Finally, on the coastline, I saw the tattered remains of an ACOM banner, suitcases scattered about amongst a handful of green bowler hats. First time I've seen those. Closing my eyes and listening closely, I could still hear the faint cheers of Yacht Master Broderick emanating from the scene. As the night overtook me, I wept with joy. The Yoppie cruise is still but yet beginning.
I like the stormy background sounds also. It just makes me feel like you're in this like void of forgotten podcast episodes. What the fuck was that? You Scratch My Back from Dylan Pollock. Funny thing about my back is it's located on my cock. It's from Superbad, I Swear I'm Not a Monster.
Sure,
yeah, it's time to thoughts from Dylan Pollock on You Scratch My Back, or you can't double cross a double cross. That's like a triple cross. So, do you think Batman or Nightwing ever go around after a battle just to pick up their used batarangs and gear? Stuff can't be cheap, Batman. And am I the only one who got really annoyed that when they knocked over the guy with the hook hand and he got stuck into the desk, neither of them said, "Let me give you a hand," and knocked him out? Come on. Also, during that fight, the last henchman just falls in a pool, and Nightwing is like, he's taken care of. He can swim. He's not taken care of. That guy should try. But speaking of not trying, the henchmen who get covered with blankets and immediately just start shooting the sky, I can't tell if the line of thinking was just like, Batman's the one who can fly, right? That's Batman? Like, it was not good. But what is good is the question of the week. James' favorite part.
Yeah.
If either one of you was the Robin of this podcast and broke away, what would your new cool guy title be? Like for me, I'm no longer the listener. I'm night audience now.
Thank you, Dylan.
I mean, it's obvious that I'm the Robin, so because I'm younger.
Oh my god!
And Brian adopted me as a child.
I think, I might go for like the geriatric or something. Geriatric.
The name's Geriatric now. Stop calling me Dick. I'm not calling you Dick because it's your name. This is from Main Memory. Hey there, this is my first episode after catching up.
Hey!
Took me about 2 months. Listening at 1.25 times speed. Spent a good 2 weeks sick just recently, so I had a lot of time to do nothing but lay in bed and listen to the podcast. I hope if you currently are listening to this and you're lying in bed sick, I'm sorry. You did a great job highlighting the episodes. Yeah, if you're sick, would you like to hear a burp sound? Does that help you?
Here you go. It will heal you.
You two do a great job highlighting the episodes without being afraid to dig at the more ridiculous parts. I myself am set to finish taking my girlfriend through the DCAU tomorrow with the end of JLU. Though we didn't watch Static or Zeta, might circle around to them later. Oh, well, then you didn't do it right. You can't skip stuff. What are you doing? But that's cool. Thank you for listening and not being sick anymore, hopefully.
JLU.
Justice League Unlimited.
Unlimited? Is that what it's called?
Yes, I've said this many times.
Oh. Okay.
How do you not retain all information?
Yeah, there's so much.
That's the last show that we'll watch. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the end of it. Yeah.
I thought it was Justice League Universe for a second there.
Justice League.
This
is Tim Allen. Super Beetle. Hidely ho, occupants of the fair lands of Big Bus. I hope you guys were okay during the hiatus. We would be more okay if Banana Man was ever here anymore, but you know, times change, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I got some stuff to say about You Scratch My Back, or looks like our old/new cat burglar is a cougar. So I made the cougar jokes. I don't know why Selena insists on doing Poison Ivy face when she already wears a mask. Okay, yeah. This may be controversial, but I love Nightwing's hair, mullet and all. Okay. It's just a perfect visual cue that college Dick has become more free and independent. I love Nightwing, but maybe not this Nightwing. TNBA Nightwing is very much like the character at that time in the comics, very jaded and kind of emo. It's taken some decades for him to grow out of this phase and become less of, well, a dick. Anyhow, stay yappadiddly neighborinos. Peace. I don't. My Flanders is not up to speed. I'm sorry.
You got to work on that.
I haven't been practicing.
You got the mustache.
I do. Yeah, I should start Flanders cosplaying. This is from Trevor West.
Please do.
Mail from Virginia. Hello, Brian and James, longtime listener, first time sending mail.
Woo!
I hope to make this regular, but like we've had a lot of these lately. Glad to see new names. I'm so tired of Dylan. Like every Batman. I'm just kidding, Dylan. I'm so sorry. Thanks for putting out the best podcast on my playlist. Here's the voice message.
Hello, Brian and James.
Hello.
This is Trevor West coming to you all the way from Virginia.
Hello.
I've been a long-time listener, listening since you dropped episode 1, in fact.
Oh.
A long-time lurker, but this is the first time sending in an email or audio recording at all, and I think it's long overdue.
Yes.
I've been sitting in darkness, able to listen but not to say anything, able to think. That is, until my friends from Intergang upgraded my engagement abilities. So hopefully you hear more from me now. I'm
like, where's
so
this going?
excited to finally see Nightwing. He's my favorite DC character, and I'm so excited for things coming up. There's one episode in particular he plays a big part in coming up that I won't spoil that I am so excited for. Easily my favorite TNBA episode.
I'm pausing it there.
Really?
There's a wee bit of a spoiler at the end of it.
Wow. I was going to say,
but
that I was already like threatening to take off my headphones.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute,
I can't wait for the thing in the future. Yeah. You've been listening since day one. And don't tell Brian things, but thank you for listening and sending in a thing. We always like to hear from new folks.
We always like to hear
things.
from things.
Things. LexCorp Cares. Gotham Hotel Pool Experience. Hi there, jubilant jock and bodacious babe. I had the worst stay at a Gotham Courtyard Marriott. I don't know what I'm more upset about, the fact that the bottom of my hotel's pool was covered in broken glass and bullets, or that I was the first and only person to complain about it. Apparently that's just completely normal here. Nothing like a swim in a nice sharp pool. The continental breakfast was very nice. Plenty of good variety in the bagel basket. 2 out of 5. Sent from the pharmacy where I'm picking up my very strong antibiotics. Thanks, Lex. Always on vacation, I see. Must be treating you well over there. Eric LeBeau, you scratch my back or our new redesign's a woman.
Alrighty, I've broken into the Gotham City News studio with the help of my friends at Intergame because I've got my own breaking news. This episode's given me an epiphany. Cat puns will now and forever be my thing, and my punctuated emails and 60-second or less voice messages. No longer will I be bogged down by another rock joke again. Screw you, Killer Croc who lives inside my head. I don't think I've got to persuade Brian on thinking this episode is just decent. Let's start with post-college Dick's new costume, huh? Sure as the cat's meow if you ask me, but I'm not really feline the mullet. But Catwoman, talk about the bare minimum, am I right? You might be a little perplexed when Bats and Nightwing hatched their plan, but I think it was right after that first little fur fuffle with Enrique. This episode may not be a meowsing, but it's not littered with too many issues like others, so I know I can just sit back and watch this with some popcorn for
God. Take a break, man.
Whoa, God. What happened to him?
I threw a rock at him.
Whoa. Crossover of the century, man.
Oh, my God. Oh, that was so many puns. That was amazing.
I'm liking
Good
the
job.
Listener lore expansion even more.
Yeah.
I really love whenever we get one of these where I know that the listener behind the scenes is speaking to each other and making plans for their mail and stuff like that, like the Yoppie Court where it's had like 6 people in it.
Oh God,
it's
yeah,
so good. Ryan Hip, I'm trot, I'm whelmed, I'm definitely feeling the Aster. This is Young Justice jokes, and it also includes a comic panel that just says, "Man, Dick is good."
I don't want my love to go to waste. I want Dick in his beautiful butt.
Fuck, why does that keep happening? Yes, it's everybody's favorite.
She wants to kill you, Dick.
It's the debut of the love of my life, Nightwing, and it's Nazi war criminal theme music. Like many people, this was my introduction to Nightwing, and I love him. There's one thing I could change about this version, though.
Get that crazy ass mullet off your skull.
While I'm thirsting, is it just me, or is the moment when Batman crosses his arms and leans against the crates, it's kind of hot?
No, you're right.
No? Just me?
No.
What am I even doing anymore? I feel like I should just stop it right here.
That's what we've been waiting for!
Wait, you want me to shut the fuck up and take a hike?
It's what we wanted all along!
Okay. Bye!
This is some real butt candy.
That was a good one, right?
Do you remember when Ryan's voicemails used to be him walking on the side of the road?
I know. Good times. I do like the Jesse McCartney background music, though. That's good. Jesse McCartney, you're familiar, 2000s small boy pop singer, man. He was the voice of Robin in Young Justice, so, which is not a DCAU show, but I didn't realize that till a couple of years ago. And yeah, so that song at the start and playing in the background is a Jesse McCartney song.
Wow.
I'm explaining the joke. You got it?
I got it.
Jack of the Card says, Intergang sounds like a pyramid scheme Metallo got roped into, and now he has to get 5 people to join.
Yep, absolutely.
I like to eat all day. Is this a new one?
Yes.
It may seem odd that a small, nerdy white boy from the suburbs related to Steel, but I absolutely did. He's the hero people claim Batman is, fighting monsters and aliens with his mind, aka stuff he invented. He doesn't have the endless wealth of Batman, nor his training in nearly every single field and martial art, which is absolutely superhuman. Also, fun fact, I started listening when you guys released Terrible Trio and caught up in 3 episodes since I listen at work, but I wanted to wait until this episode to comment. Keep on yopping, friends. Maybe I'll write in as a random Metropolis citizen or something. I don't know.
just do your own thing, you know?
You can just be you. I'm glad that Steel worked for you. That I'm never going to say you're wrong or stupid for saying that kind of thing.
No, man, like I want more. It was just a bad episode. Like I want more of Steel.
No, yeah. You'll get him. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Jordan Newman, the Nightwing won the first one with Nightwing.
You're listening to GCN, Gotham City News with Jack Ryder. Tonight's top story, some mob boss, I think, was taken down by Catwoman, according to reports, who was seen with Nightwing, who's the superhero in black and blue. And I haven't been in Gotham for a while, but we didn't used to have a blue one, right? That's new? I'm not going crazy? Right. Okay. Now over to the music. I obviously have to talk about the Nightwing theme because I love the Nightwing theme. It's got just the right amount of energy. It's kind of a little bit more playful than the Batman theme, but it's still got some of those dark tones. But it's overall, it's like a more mentally healthy Batman theme, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, never apologize for loving your fandom and try to stay optimistic.
Mentally healthier, that's true. I get it. You didn't beat up the other guy at the end of that one. I was hoping they would connect in some way. The Intruder. We got a thing from Chartable, our positions. I just wanted to mention that we're up 56 points in Australia TV reviews.
Oh,
so thank you, Australians.
Thanks, Ashley. You're the best.
Thank you, just Ashley Touchin. Yeah, for sure.
I was. Oh my God. So I'd been. Very lagging on moving like the last run of like bullshit stuff that's not in boxes out of my old place, and
that should be the name of the final podcast episode that we do, the last rung of bullshit. The final podcast. We'll forget that in 7 years when we do that. But anyway.
Absolutely. But yeah, I was looking at my wall with all the Australian listeners on it, and I think I'm gonna have to like take a picture to immortalize it or something.
Yeah,
cut out that section of drywall and continue writing on it.
Let all the ants in, whatever.
Yeah, you know.
This is from True Score. You scratched my back, or Captain Hook scratched my back and tore out my spine. Hola, Janice-faced Jamie and Blabbermouth Brian.
That's me.
Oh, Janice-faced Jamie. I'd like to clear something up about the Lego fact from last week. Brian seemed to have thought Danish was the same as Norwegian. He's always doing that. While they have their similarities, they also have their differences. The Danish phrase "leg godt" means to play well, which is what I said last week. Lego comes from that phrase, whereas the Norwegian words for play well is indeed what Brian said. I'm not going to try to say this. Spille bra. It's bad.
No, you're fine.
Anyway, this episode was mid. Catwoman redesign is mid. Nightwing's hair is mid. Villain was mid. Fight scenes were mid. Aside from Batman throwing that tarp on those guys and then them randomly shooting the air. Everyone's stuck on that. That's good though. Here's some funny stuff said during the watch with my mates, who just really don't know anything about DC. Who's this black guy? Well, not black guy. The one wearing black. That's Nightwing. What a dumb name. What happens when it's daytime? His wings don't work? Also, why do his binoculars blink when they zoom in? That's not how that works. Cool hair, though. Sees back of head. Oh, not so cool hair anymore. Not Batman with the anime boy pose. Catgirl just did a Fortnite emote and vanished. I swear if his mullet flaps in the wind when he's on that motorcycle, damn it. Captain Hook meets Kingpin. This is getting a little too sensual for me with Catwoman. That front-on view of Darkwing made him look like a moose. Darkwing is a duck. That's Nightwing. I said Nightwing. No, okay, whatever. The flirting is wild. The glass in his motorcycle helmet is in the shape of his mask. That's weird as hell. Is that one of the Easter Island heads? What the fuck? No way the bad guy was bad. No way the good guy was good. Batman just backhanded that bitch. Whoa. Can these trumpets shut up? Take care, boy. That's what I say every week. Take care, boys. Till next week. In Yop we trust. Brody, sent from my artificial left limb hook hand made from carbon fiber myoelectric with control center module.
Love it. Those are really good segments. I dig.
It's like the hyper accelerated version of Brian watching the episode. Who the fuck is this guy? Scarloey, the pussy and the dick.
Hello, listener, and welcome back to Jump on the Mechanic Wagon. I'm your host, Scarloey, and in this episode I will tell you about Season 1, Episode 5 of the new Earl Adventures, the Itchy and Back Scratcher Show. Earl is at the convenience store buying a back scratcher when he bumps into Nightwing. Watch where you're going, old man. Oh, it's you, Earl. Hi, Robin. I mean, Nightwing. What you doing? Buying, superhero paraphernalia. Condoms. Yeah. I saw Catwoman on my way in, so maybe you should catch her before you go see your girlfriend. Yeah, I'm gonna catch that pussy anyway. Bye, Earl. Bye, Robin.
Jesus.
Fun fact, this episode was made in partnership with both Planned Parenthood and the Idaho Back Scratcher Council. Anyway, see you next week. Same pee time, same poo-poo channel.
Look, the word pussy coming out of Scarloey's mouth really doesn't work for me for some reason.
It's my favorite.
We have opposite opinions on this.
I just love cats, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's what he was talking about. Last first we have Mark Aquino, you scratch my back, or Cougar gets some dick. All right. I know. Look, everybody had to make the joke before we go forward with anything else. Anywho, Catwoman's back, and she's got her eyes on our old pal College Dick, now with his new persona of Nightwing. You know, not wanting anything to do with Bruce Man anymore, he sure has picked up some old habits from his foster daddy. Why, he's even now got his own Patrick Bateman-esque apartment. Ironic, obviously, given who ends up playing Batman years after this. He's got a slick new Tron cycle with his own branded batarangs. What would those even be called? Nighterangs? Nightwings?
Wingerangs?
Yeah, wingerangs. Bangerangs. His apartment is even decked out with a whole bunch of Japanese weaponry and paraphernalia, so you know he's a total weeb. Don't fuck with me, Joker. I have the power of God and anime on my side. Not much else really to say about this one. It was a decent watch overall. On my new TNBA redesign scale from Joker to Scarecrow, Catwoman is a solid 4 out of 5. Boss Biggest Bear Hugs is the #1 podcast host in this here multiverse of ours, John Quincy Adams, and batteries not included. I like those. That's good. That's a good one. Praise to our Lord and Savior Dylan Pollock. Thanks for having me on your own podcast last week. I didn't know that. I'm behind. I'm so sorry. I gotta listen to that now.
God,
I am tell Gab that she rules.
Months. I found out recently that like in my most listened to, I am literally months behind on everything. I don't know when I stopped having time to listen to podcasts, but
it happens to the best of us. I used to listen to the Weekly Planet like every week. And somehow, when it comes out, surprisingly, and then it's not, I didn't ever mean to stop listening to it, but I realized that I was just like 100 episodes behind, and I just went like, I'm not gonna try. Like, you can jump in whenever. It's not like necessarily like this where it's just they just talk about whatever pop culture stuff from that week or whatever. So. But it's just like I listened to part of an episode and I went like, well, there went 5 inside jokes that I don't know what that is. So maybe that's why everybody has to listen from the start with this one that we do.
Yeah, fair.
Having been on Dylan's own podcast, I can honestly say he's a handsome fella. That's true.
Isn't he?
He's as good looking as Batman leaning against those boxes. Till next week, Smoke Bomb.
I was going to say he's as good looking as an American Alex Robson.
Yeah, I was leaning towards saying that, but it's been done. Smoke Bomb will be blown out by a big old
whoosh. It's an inside joke.
I just flew away. That's true. You got to say it. Okay, Brian, we have 2 more episodes till 1998 and 6 more episodes till the next movie. Wow. The next episode is called Warrior Queen. Is it Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Correct. What's it about?
Xena, but like when she becomes queen.
Xena's not far off. Yeah. What? I mean, it's not literally Xena. It's
okay.
She looks Xena-ish. What's she doing? Where's she from? What's going on?
Some Amazon planet.
Okay. Okay.
I just love your reactions to the things.
I mean, sometimes you say shit that's like decently close to what's going on. I'm like, yeah, you could spin it that way. Like if you were just like a 5-year-old describing the episode, or
which is what I am.
Yeah, that's all that it needs to be. And what's her motive? Why?
I mean, she's got to be a bad guy, and she's accidentally ended up on Earth.
Wrong, but that's okay.
Damn!
I'll just keep asking questions so you get something wrong.
On purpose ended up on Earth?
No.
Superman's on her planet? She's gotten zoomed away?
Yeah.
Or she, he's, she, whatever Superman's pronouns are. I don't care.
He's there. I don't care. Whatever he wants.
Oh, God. Wait, do we get Superman back in a spaceship?
Maybe a little bit. I can't remember for sure.
I hope so.
We'll find out.
Either
next
that or
week.
a flying squirrel outfit.
Superman lost his power, so he borrowed Nightwing's costume, and now he's flying around in a tiny bottle. That's Warrior Queen next week on Jump on the Bat-Wagon.
I can hardly contain myself.
Yeah. That's the podcast. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye. The end.
All the new people. Oh.
No. Go on.
Just I like how many new people are popping in.
Yeah,
it makes me feel good. It's like, oh, people, it's not just, I like all the old people too, okay? Keen, shut up.
Keen's old.
I like the medium people and the new people. Yeah, it's all good. Just people, if you're a person, you listen to this, whoever you are.
Extra small, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, bye. I got jury duty.
Oh, God.
I have to figure that out.
You all right?
You know me. Always happy to have a little help.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, Eric LeBeau, Jordan Blumen, my mother, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian, brother Broderick Meneely. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. Thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Timm Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. If you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of World's Finest Part 3, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Podtower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode. Same PP time, same poo-poo channel.